I'll be very honest with you. At the time I decided to be a stay-home mom, that decision itself did not make sense even to me. And that's because we had real money concerns to deal with at that time. The most reasonable thing to do at the time was to literally just continue dropping my baby off in crèche and continue going to work. But then, one of the things that really helped us make that decision at the time was the fact that we had classified the situation. It's something my husband and I always talk about, to know what should be a money decision and what should not. And for us, this decision of who would raise our child was too significant to be a money decision, right? And so we decided we would find a way to do what we feel is best for our child, and we would not allow our money situation dictate to us what we should do. But then I had this idea that, okay, I'll be a stay-home mom, but I'll do a business on the side. And I had actually prayed and asked God to, okay, show me what business I could do on the side. And so He gave me a business idea, and He also gave me His word, which was more or less my anchor throughout that experience. That's 2 Corinthians 9, verse 8, which says that God is able to make all grace abound unto you, that you always having all sufficiency will abound unto every good work. And so I held on to that scripture. I started the business from the comfort of my house. But contrary to what I thought, that business did not bring me money as I had imagined it would. And so the entire time, we literally survived on only one person's income, which was my husband's income. And I'm sharing this because it is contrary to what we were told, which we most likely hear in this day and time, that families in this economy cannot survive on only one person's income. And you see the simple statement, right? It is putting so many families under pressure. But then it is not from God. Because what God has said in His word in Jeremiah 17, verse 7 to 8, paraphrasing, He says, if your trust is in Him, you will not see when the heat comes. And I can tell you that we proved that scripture to be true, because the entire time I was now at home with my daughter, my husband, who was working, was not just accepting any job offer that came his way, because there were jobs that came that would pay 800K monthly, over a million monthly, and he rejected all of them simply because they were not in line with the path that God had positioned him. Not because they were bad, they were good jobs, but it was not in line with his path. And so he refused to take them up. And it was really, really difficult at the time. Like, if you had seen us, you'd just be wondering that, what's wrong with these people? Like, don't you like money? Because at every point in time, it was like we were just leaving money on the table consciously, and we needed money at the time. But the truth is, God is faithful. He took care of us. Gradually, my husband's income got better, and in less than a year of my own career taking the back seat, my husband in a month was already earning multiples of what I was earning as a doctor, and we were okay. So I can tell you for a fact that it works. What God has said in His word, it actually works. It doesn't have to make sense the way things make sense in our world system. But if your faith is in God and you are in line with His order for your life and your family, the truth is you will not see when the heat comes. And so take this as a heart-to-heart from a mom who knows what it is to trust God at the expense of comfort and stability, especially with a child in the picture. The money concerns were real. So I'm not going to sit down here and tell you that, oh, just do it, there's nothing there. No, that's not true. But as a mom, if you're tired and stressed out from the burden of supporting a family and also taking care of children at the same time, then I would encourage you to prayerfully check with God what His order for your family is. and see if you're carrying any unnecessary burden. It doesn't mean you should give up your job. No, you may actually need a job in addition to other responsibilities you have at the moment, or you may not. The most important thing here is that you are in line with God's order for your family and for yourself. Because once things are in the right order, you will always enjoy peace. So if it's about the money concerns, please know that God is still taking care of families in this economy. If you allow Him and if you are in line with His order for your life, you can rest your mind on that. You will be taken care of if your trust is in God, and you will not see when the heat comes. And it's important to know that, yes, it is good to hustle and all of that, but ultimately, God blesses order much more than our hustle. So put your trust in the right place and get in line with God's order for your family. Now, if you're a new mom or you're currently expecting a baby, there are some things I would love to show you. These are things that many new moms do not see, especially because they do not present as obvious needs that a newborn will have. But the truth is, if you get this early, it will save you a lot of heartaches down the line. I'll be sharing more on this as we go on. If you are interested, then keep following for more.